hey, you have the power to support or sabotage your life every day. And Arya, you can only see her little head, she echoes that because she jumped up on my lap as I'm preparing to talk to you. If you're looking to create a whole new version of your life because you're fed up with how your life feels like a hamster wheel that you just can't even slow down enough for you to jump off, listen. If you are ready to have a new, revitalized connection to your God, spirit, higher power, whatever word you want to put there, your God, your higher knowing, listen up. If you're looking to experience the basic things of life that become drudgery, and you want to switch how you view that, it's time to listen up. I'm here to talk to you about not just a program that I've created and that I'm refreshing next month, but the very foundation of the program is about creating a better version of you, creating a better life so that you wake up in the morning and you're excited. You're excited to greet the day because you have the control of how to live it. The program that I'm talking about is Nourish Your Way Home, a delicious journey toward God and food. And it's a program that it gets right down to everything that, like, how you live. Everybody, at least those are talking of it, like, for the most part, everybody gets to eat 3 meals a day. And you get to choose what those meals are. Are you waiting in line at the local fast food place because it's easy and you don't feel like cooking? Or do you go to the grocery with a sense of curiosity of, like, what new ingredient could you possibly include in your grocery cart so that you can look at new recipes, for instance? She's behaving very curious. It's very curious what she's doing here. So if you're looking to revisit, recreate your relationship with what nourishment is, it's important to go into relationship with it. What are your habits around how you spend your time, how you view the tasks that you have to do every day? Is it all a drudgery and just a big pain in the ass and you have resentment? What about self-care? Can you change the lens when you look at self-care and look at it as a gift that you can give yourself rather than a drudgery? We're talking about things that people look at these things as drudgery. And I'm wanting to elevate this to a level where you look at the gift within it. What if you could nourish your body with really delicious food that doesn't have to take a long time to put together, that is actually healthy? I have many friends. I love to cook. It's truly one of my gifts that I harnessed, leveraged, took time to hone after my head injury. I was like, I couldn't read. I couldn't even listen to music. I could hardly do anything. And cooking was something that I could actually do because requiring to look at a recipe was only just like a sentence. And I could usually remember, and I'm not kidding, I could usually remember that one sentence from reading it to actually implementing it. There were many times where I would go to get an ingredient and I would forget what the hell I was doing. And so I habituated during those really acute times I'm going to the fridge to get, I'm going to the fridge to get, I'm going to the fridge to get. And I kept repeating and repeating that until I went and got that thing. So food for me was very healing. The act of preparing food was very healing. And in the course of that, I've had many people who've sat at my dining room table and really, really enjoyed my food. And some of them are like, really? This is gluten-free? This is gluten-free? And it's like, yeah, I can't even hardly smell the wheat. It kind of makes me want to be sick. Kind of like when I stopped dairy. I've been off dairy for, my God, over 30 years, 35 years, something like that. So smelling cow's milk is really quite painful. At any rate, I digress. But what if we could elevate how we looked at taking care of ourselves through food by looking at our habits and patterns, for agreeing to look at self-care through a lens differently, through a holistic lens. It's not just self-care like take the luxurious bath, but elevate it to, I'm going to buy this food because it's good for me and I'm going to allow it to make me feel luxurious. What if we could look at food practically? The practicality of food. What does it mean when you want to elevate and yet be practical? We're going to talk about that. What if you could use essential oils in your cooking? You know, buying a little bundle of basil, fresh basil, could be, I don't even know. I don't buy it that often because I usually grow it. $3. Sometimes it's cheaper to buy the little basil plant than it is to buy the bundle. But what if you had a little bottle? I don't have a bottle of my Vitality oil, but they come in this 5 ml size. What if you had a 5 ml size of basil Vitality, for instance? I don't know offhand how much that costs, but you've got about 85 drops. You've got a lot of basil in there that you could be adding to your pasta sauces and all kinds of things. For instance, just choosing the basil. What if you could learn how to do that? And the vibration from these life blood, the essential oils are the life blood of the plant. The vibration then elevates. What if we talked about vibration? What if we talked about food as energy, vibration, and a catalyst for change? This is my wheelhouse. I do food and I do it really well. I'm going to say it again. I do food and I do it really well. And I'd love for you to join me on this 4-week journey in my Nourish Your Way Home program. What if all of what we've talked about nourishment and habits and self-care and food, the myriad ways of looking at food, what if it all impacted your spiritual practice? You're wanting to actually take a deep breath and be contemplative, to be silent, to meditate. What if it made you actually excited to go take a walk, go stretch, do yoga, qigong, whatever it is? It's all related, whether you've thought about it or not in that way. It's so easy. I know, it's so easy. Oh, I don't feel like cooking. If only I had a pizza, I'd be making pizza right now. And sometimes, and I've been there, it's like, really, the longer you complain and bitch about it, if you just stop that and you make the meal, you can have a meal in 20, 30 minutes. Or what if it was taking 20 minutes in the morning, throwing it all in the slow cooker, and then by 6 o'clock it's done? Now, I'm not an Instapot girl. I don't have room for one. But my daughter has one, and she can throw together a dinner like it's ridiculous how quickly that can happen. So there's a whole another topic of discussion that I can't speak to. But the point is, investing a small amount of time to create a great meal that supports your body, supports your desire. I hope if you're listening to this, I've attracted at least people who are wanting to feel better in their own skin. Right? So wouldn't it be great to be able to change the outlook on your life by choosing foods that support that? How it's all interrelated. So I'm extending an invitation to you today. Starting February 1st, I am going to be recording this course or this program live. I've got it in the can already. I'm dusting off the content, refreshing it, adding new content, just taking it, just taking it up a level. I'm elevating the course, the experience, so that you can elevate your life. And what it means for you to be in the program live is that you can actually ask me questions live and in the moment. Doesn't mean you have to necessarily attend live, but it means that you're going to have access to me in a way that otherwise you haven't been able to have. So if you're intrigued, reach out. If you're ready, you just know you want this, say yes. The moment that energetically, the moment that we say yes to a thing, to an offer, to a course, to an experience, whatever it is, the moment we say yes, if it's off in the future, if it starts tomorrow, if it starts next week, whatever it is, that moment that we say yes and put the money on the table, that's the moment that you begin changing. Because you open up your energy field and all of a sudden, I can't explain it, but all of a sudden you begin to notice things differently. Maybe just from this conversation, you're going to end up choosing to pick, I don't have a can beside me or anything that I can read a label on, but all of a sudden you might become the label reader. Like, what really is in here? What am I buying that I'm putting in my body on a daily basis? Just opening yourself up. What happens is when you open yourself up energetically, it becomes like a vortex. When you think about a cone, it becomes a vortex and it begins to attract things to you of like. Like attracts like. Like attracts like is a universal law. So the moment that you open up your energy field, that's the moment that it begins to, hey, Erin, it begins to come into your energy field. Whether, like I said, whether you're starting in an hour, next week, or next month, it begins the process. Your awareness begins the process. So that is my challenge to you, is really be with, are you ready to take your nourishment, your holistic nourishment up a level? Are you ready to take how you show up at the grocery store or the co-op or the farmer's market or wherever you are in the world, whatever's going on? I can't do farmer's market right now because we've got snow and it's cold. But I know Erin has summer and I'm very jealous. So however you show up at the grocery store, that's ultimately how you get to show up in your kitchen. And how you show up in the kitchen, that's what you're eating at the dining room table. So that's my conversation with you today, is really about the course, the practicality of it, the metaphysicality of it, the food as energy, vibration, and catalyst for change, and how food can be a bridge to the divine. You can actually learn to practice using food as a catalyst to be that bridge to the divine. So that's my message. When this has rendered, I am going to put the link to the course and I invite you to go check it out. And if it's rumbling in your tummy, it's probably a sign that this is exactly what you've been looking for, whether you consciously know it or not. So that's it, harmonic wholeness, and I will see you another time. Bye-bye.